Alright, I'm going to read from the Private Oral Exam Guide. This will be Chapter 5, Cross-Country Flight Planning. This will be in Airspace. This will be number 16, what is Class C airspace? This is starting from page 5-38. Generally, that airspace from the surface to 4,000 feet above the airport elevation. Charted in MSL, surrounding those airports that have an operational control tower are serviced by radar approach control and that have a certain number of IFR operations or passenger enplanements. What are the basic dimensions of Class C airspace? Although the configuration of each Class C airspace area is individually tailored, the airspace usually consists of a 5 nautical mile radius core surface area that extends from the surface up to 4,000 feet above the airport elevation, and a 10 nautical mile radius shelf area that extends from 1,200 feet to 4,000 feet above the airport elevation. The outer area radius will be 20 nautical miles, with some variations based on site-specific requirements. The outer area extends outward from the primary airport and extends from the lower limits of radar radio coverage up to the ceiling of the approach control airspace. What minimum pilot certification is required to operate an aircraft within Class C airspace? A student pilot certificate. What minimum equipment is required to operate an aircraft within Class C airspace? Unless authorized by the ATC having jurisdiction over the Class C airspace area, no person may operate an aircraft within a Class C airspace area designated for an airport unless that aircraft is equipped with the following: a two-way radio, an automatic pressure altitude reporting equipment with Mode C capability. Number 20. When operating an aircraft through Class C airspace or to an airport within Class C airspace, what basic requirements must be met? Each person must establish two-way radio communication with the ATC facility providing air traffic services prior to entering that airspace, and thereafter maintain those communications while within that airspace. Number 21. Two-way radio communications must be established prior to entering Class C airspace. Define what is meant by established in this context. If a controller responds to a radio call with aircraft call sign standby, radio communications have not been established. It is important to understand that if the controller responds to initial radio call without using the aircraft's identification number, radio communications have not been established and the pilot may not enter the Class C airspace. Number 22. When departing a satellite airport within an operative control tower located within Class C airspace, what requirement must be met? Each person must establish and maintain two-way radio communication with the ATC facilities having jurisdiction over the Class C airspace area as soon as practical after departing. Number 23. What minimum weather conditions are required when conducting VFR flight operations within Class C airspace? VFR flight operations within Class C airspace requires 3 statute miles flight visibility and cloud clearances of at least 500 feet below, 1,000 feet above, and 2,000 feet horizontal to clouds. How is Class C airspace depicted on a navigational chart? A solid magenta line is used to depict Class C airspace. Class C airspace is charted on sectional charts, IFR en route, low altitude, and terminal area charts where appropriate. What type of air traffic control services are provided when operating within Class C airspace? When two-way radio communication and radar contact are established, all participating VFR aircraft are sequenced to the primary airport, provided Class C services within the Class C airspace and the outer area, provided basic radar services beyond the outer area on a workload permitting basis. This can be terminated by the controller if workload dictates. Number 26. Describe the various types of terminal radar services available for VFR aircraft. Basic radar service. Safety alerts, traffic advisory, limited radar vectoring on a workload permitting basis, and sequencing at locations where procedures have been established for this purpose and or when covered by a letter of agreement. TRSA service, radar secrecy and separation service for VFR aircraft in a TRSA. Class C service. The service provides, in addition to basic radar service, approved separation between IFR and VFR aircraft and secrecy of VFR arrivals to the primary airport. Class B service provides, in addition to basic radar service, approved separation of aircraft based on IFR, VFR, and or weight, and secrecy of VFR arrivals to the primary airport. Number 27. Where is Mode C altitude encoding transponder equipment? Where is Mode C altitude encoding transponder equipment required? At or above 10,000 feet MSL or over the 48 contiguous states or the District of Columbia, excluding that airspace below 2,500 feet AGL. And you have to have it within 30 miles of a Class B airspace, primary airport below 10,000 feet. Within and above all Class C airspace up to 10,000 feet. Within 10 miles of certain designated airports, including that airspace, which is both outside Class D surface area and below 1,200 feet AGL. All aircraft flying into, within, or across the contiguous U.S. ADIS. Note, civil and military transponders should be turned to the on or normal altitude reporting position prior to moving on the airport service to ensure the aircraft is visible to ATC surveillance systems. Number 28. What is the maximum speed an aircraft may be operated within Class C airspace? Unless authorized, or required by ATC, no person may operate an aircraft at or below 2,500 feet above the surface within 4 nautical miles of the primary airport of a Class C airspace area and at an indicated airspeed of more than 200 knots. What is Class D airspace? We'll probably hold off right here. Let's see. Yep, we'll hold off there on Class C airspace. Hold off there on 5-41. See ya.